Hello and welcome to the Monthly Mix Sunday Salad. How do you like the new Sunday salad?
Countdown and low. I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. You have a lot of time on your hands, eh?
No, don't go there. Don't go to time on hands. I just changed the logo because I just felt that, not the logo, just actually the font, and sized it up a bit more because I didn't think that anyone could really see that it says Sunday Salad anyway. So
it looks very good.
Just now we start opening up some more channels and things like that, and then you can't actually see what the subheading is. So
Yeah.
I figured let's make Sunday Salad look suave.
Well, I have to say, it's a nice welcoming gift after being away for 2 weeks.
Yeah, welcome back, Ilandi. Niels has been absolutely speechless without you.
I'm sorry. Those last 2 weeks were so rough. Like, we didn't even get to catch some ground. So
Yeah, no, it has been. You know what? That's why I said we haven't even pulled the topic, and we're definitely not going to be just sticking to Cambodia as such. Although we are in Cambodia, we're probably talking a lot about Cambodia. But you know what? If we do fly off the hammer somewhere else, so be it. It's not a only Cambodian channel. It's a motley mix, which is a bunch of mixed nuts, and we're the nuts, and we're going to give you the mix.
A mix.
Yeah, but beforehand, geez, please do us a solid and like and subscribe for us, some please. We keep on forgetting. I forget. We always get together, we chat, and no. And I know that there's not very many people that watch it live, but there's many people that watch reruns and things like that. So please, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe the channel. Likes help us, subscribe help us, and just gets us out and around a little bit more than what we are stagnating at the moment. Although I think we're at the point where it's starting to take traction, but it's not going to get any action for a while until it's been going for a certain amount of time as such.
It's okay. We enjoy it. It's the fun of it, not anything else.
So Niels, you shocked Divan.
Yeah, looks like he didn't reply yet, so I don't know if he realized it yet. Yeah, but you gave us quite the shocker last week when you dropped the bomb on us that schools are going to be closed for 2 weeks on a live chat. We were
all like, afterwards, that whole chat just went to you.
Yeah, and we're 1 week in so far, and it would appear that so far so good, right?
Yeah, done really well. So hopefully, apparently, yes, it was I think it was the Hungarian minister or something that they had a state fair thing at, and many of the children who were at school, their parents were at that as well. And because the Hungarian minister ended up having it, and I think 1 or 2 other officials, I'm not too sure who, there's like a little bit of a concern. And so it's not to just create, because I know it blew out, because all they've done is said, close down for 2 weeks. Basically, it's a quarantine period. But I know people went and said, whoa, Phnom Penh is being secluded. It's, like they're putting a dome over it. And I'm not putting chicken out of the rooster. You know what, they were going to like, Phnom Penh is being, isolated, and no, it's not. It's just that the schools have been put on lockdown or not going to school for 2 weeks so that everybody can do a 2-week quarantine period just for safety circumstances. So we've got 1 week ahead of us still. However, it is challenging because as the teachers were looking forward to having all the children come back to school, because we just got the go-ahead actually, and I think that tomorrow all the children would have been coming back to school. And instead of that, we have the exact opposite. All the children are at home busy doing an online study. But yeah, that's challenging. I think everybody realizes that when you've got kids in the class, it's tiring because they keep you busy and you're busy trying to teach them and everything to that effect. But however, when you have to teach online, it is mentally draining because you are trying to engage with somebody who is out of their learning environment.
Yeah.
They're at home, they're on pads, they're on phones, they're on computers, they're in their room, you know what, they're watching TV, they're not in a learning environment, which makes it twice, if not 3 times as hard. I don't know how you guys feel and your experiences on that.
No, definitely, like
I told Ina a little bit earlier as well. The thing with the online training or the online teaching, it's, to me, I think it's more draining than actually having the students in the class, because most of the schools here, you have 40 minutes class and then you have a break period of say 20 minutes or whatever. And now you don't have that because you need to upload all the documents. The students need to do the documentation or the assignments. They need to send it back to you. You have to mark it. It's reading into the computer. It's so much more things that you have to do now, where if the students were at school, you had that time for yourself to just like get a cup of coffee and relax a little bit. So even though it's online, to me, I think personally, it's more draining than actually having the students there.
yeah, no.
Yes, it is. It's mentally draining as such because, as you say, you don't have control really over it as such.
Yeah, no, please. The thing is to keep their attention all the time for that period of that lesson, making sure they do the schoolwork and the assignments. It's much harder than when they are in class because you can control it in class, you can check physically, but when they're online, it's so much more difficult. And the thing is, it's difficult for the students as well. Like Andre says, they're out of their learning environment. Some of them doesn't even get out of their pajamas. They like stay in the pajamas for the day. So it's really difficult.
No, definitely.
It's not good for the I should say for teachers coming back and coming to work, because you know I think we almost live very secluded in the fact that right now you can't get in and you can't really go out of Cambodia as such. We carry on with life in this like little dome, but at the moment there are flights that have been cancelled, or should I say still on hold. You can't just come in. So you know what, we're like when we came, we said, right, we're going to Cambodia, at least, you know what, give us 2 to 3 weeks, we will be able to find work there. It is now not that easy because A, schools aren't all that open, and B, to get in here, I was looking at South Africans in Cambodia Facebook site, and there was a lady asking if anyone in the group had got a job in Cambodia recently and moved there, or know of someone who did. And basically, it says you'll need an invitation letter from an employer, a negative COVID test, $2,000 cash deposit for quarantine in a hotel, and it says for 2 days if no one is positive, and then you quarantine to 12 to 13 days elsewhere, plus 2 tests at $100 each. You need insurance of 50K, can be purchased from 2 places apparently, and no Cambodian embassy in South Africa, so you need to apply from another country. In a nutshell, it's not come in and get your visa anymore. It's come in and you've got to have insurance, you've got to have 2,000 down, and from that 2,000 down, they're going to take your hotel for quarantine time. I don't think it's anything. I see it says 2 days if no one is positive, and then you quarantine 12 to 13 days elsewhere. I know these, I think it's in Sensok, is the hotel. I think that costs you about $60 a day. Okay, that's your meals and that included. That's not guaranteed Western meal, so you could be eating what I don't eat.
Khmer.
And then also you need a negative test, and there'll be also 2 tests taken at $100 per test. So I mean, you've got quite a lot taken off that 2,000, and what's left will then be added back to you as such. So that's what you've got to go through before you get in here, and that's if you can get in here. The flights are not all guaranteed. I know South Africa just had old Cyril give them a bit of a breather last week. He said that they were lifting some more international flights, but I think Yolandi, you were telling us how expensive they are.
Yes. Unfortunately, for instance, my parents wanted to fly out of South Africa back to China, and they have a really high, how can I say it, amount of money to be paid per ticket, and it's of such a caliber that it's insanely high. Like, I don't think any normal South African on a normal salary can afford that. So it's insane how high the flight prices is to actually fly out of South Africa into another country.
Maybe they're trying to make people think twice before flying.
Yeah, the thing is that the airports had such a backlog with the whole pandemic that many of the airplanes were grounded, and some of the planes, when you grounded, it isn't just the choice they take lightly. Like all the Airbus A380s was grounded internationally, and it isn't just you. Okay, we ground it now and put it in a hangar, and then okay, 6 months later we can take it back out and get it back up and running. If you take that choice, that plane is grounded for at least 3 years before it can get back into circulation. So many of the flights or the airplanes doing the flying, your larger type passenger carriers, that was the reason why flying was cheaper. They're gone now. So flying is going to be, I think, rather expensive for quite a while still.
Yeah.
Not for too long, because we have plans to go back in next year. So I really hope that it doesn't keep on.
Maybe we'll have to just walk along Korong Beach.
Oh my word! Yeah, but just as you mentioned earlier in the chat, you were talking about the dome that Cambodia is in. I had a friend visiting me, as you know, last weekend, and she is from Sihanoukville.
That's
And,
in Cambodia.
It's in Cambodia, yes. And what happened is she got home, and that evening she received a message from the school saying, "Hi, if you went to Phnom Penh, please know that you have to self-quarantine yourself for 2 weeks and take a leave of absence. Unfortunately, no salary for that 2 weeks as well." So just to show the people that it's not as bad, because they got the phone call to say self-quarantine, and the next day they said, "Listen, sorry, we made a mistake. Inside of Cambodia, traveling is still allowed, but if you want to go outside of the country, you're not allowed anymore." So they gave her 1 annual leave day, and she went back to work as normal.
Okay, so she didn't have to spend 2 weeks.
Yes. So there's a lot of word of mouth going around saying, yes, if you want to go to Kandal, or if you want to go to Siem Reap or whatever, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. It is not what is currently going on. You don't have to self-quarantine if you are in Phnom Penh or Kandal, moving out to another province or city in Cambodia. It's only if you leave the country that you need the quarantine.
Okay. All right, that's a
Good
blessing.
stuff.
Imagine she had to sit at home for 2 weeks without pay. That's a bit hectic.
Yeah. So luckily, no. But I got some great news as well today. I don't know if it's great or not. No.
I mean, it's his face.
No, not.
Why is it when we tell people we've got great news, that is where they go?
Even my parents, are we getting a baby? No, we're not. We'll let everyone know if we do, but that'll be a year or two from now. So it's still the no-go line.
So you heard it first on the Motley Mix Sunday Salad.
Yeah, my school gave me a message at 12 o'clock on a Sunday telling me, listen, tomorrow we go back to school. So I haven't had the online teaching for this week, the past week. We're at home doing my own thing, but we did get notified that we will be returning tomorrow without any students, but for this week, luckily, most of the schools go back to work, which means salary, even though there is no students currently. Like you guys, we don't do any online, so it does make a big difference from sitting at home for a week to moving back to school.
Yep, it does. Well,
Of course. I mean, geez.
it's like our students. Teacher, we only had 2 days holiday for the week. We were supposed to have a whole week. Now it's only 2 days. I said, yeah. Government decided to close the school, so we had to get you guys back to start studying online.
Yeah.
Very disappointed they only had 2 days holiday.
Yeah, they were supposed to have the week, but just to be able to get things up and running and get them back in and actually get their full teachings and lessons and that going, we ended up starting to teach on Thursday, fully online again, full day classes.
But they were there in full force, believe it or not. There was 1 or 2 that wasn't in class, the rest was there in full force. And let me
I
tell
have
you,
to say, if I compare the education or the standard of education in the foreign schools in Cambodia or international schools in Cambodia to such as the ones in South Africa, it's amazing to see the level of willingness the students have in Cambodia to actually attend. Like,
yeah.
they really want to be there. Most of the students really want to learn, even if it's online. And as a teacher from South Africa, I can say from experience that as soon as there's something online that you need to subscribe to or to follow in a primary or pre-primary education base in South Africa, the students just go, no, the parents is not supportive, and this and that. And I have to say, in Cambodia, that's a really big thing here. The students support the children, they help them, the parents, not the students. The parents support their kids, telling their kids, listen, go online. And even if that means that they have to sit in front of the camera in pajamas, that happens. But it shows a real willingness that they actually want to study.
Yeah, no, as long as they attend, that's the main thing.
Some of them.
Well, I mean, if you look at my year 1 class, I had 24 students in my year 1 class, and I had 18 students last week, well, this week, in class after they had to come back from their holiday. They had to break their holiday to come back. And year 3s, grade 3s, I had about 2 students that was absent. The rest of them were there. So, which is a good thing. It means that it's like you say, they are willing to study, and the parents are very supportive of them to get them online to do their studies, which helps a lot.
And especially in this challenging time where it's so confusing, because one week, like the management downstairs from our apartment building, they have 2 kids as well in the public school. And I'm going to say it like she did. As soon as I went down, she said, oh, moi kai salarian, moi kai at salarian, moi kai salarian, moi kai at salarian. So she basically told me, oh, teacher, 1 month you go to school, 1 month you stay at home. 1 month you go to school, 1 month you stay at home. She was laughing because her kids does exactly the same. Her kids go to public school half day and half day international school, which for their English lessons. And currently, the public schools don't even do online classes. They just do straightforward break, no
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
well,
it's a big thing to get used to as well. I think for the students, especially the younger students, it's quite disruptive to go to school for 2 weeks and then have to stay at home again. And they did stay at home for 6 months and had to come to school, and it was only like 2 months. And I think the students in Cambodia is doing really well with the situation that we currently have to work with.
yeah, no, for sure. It's difficult. I think it's difficult for us and for the students at the moment, especially when they're not at school at all. When it comes to exams and things like that, it throws it out totally. So you can't do exams then because we're not supposed to have a gather. So yeah, then you have to improvise with assignments, and oh my word. So
Yeah, I know.
Assignments are sorry, I'm actually looking at the expat site because I want to actually share some things and we can maybe page through there together, Nana. But yeah, the assignment story, we can't wait until they actually get to write exams, because it is, first of all, you know what, if they're not in class, to get them to do that assignment. Some are diligent, some are really, really diligent. Others are not. They're not too bright. And others are very bright and just lazy. You must understand that, you know what, coming to Cambodia and teaching in the schools here isn't like possibly on the movies or TV where you see this like highly disciplined dojo school or something like that. It is a school with children who are naughty, who are children, the same as what you would find in any other schools and any South African, European, Western schools as well, where the kids are kids. And the kids here are kids. They will, I mean, they sometimes watch the one teacher, he says, okay, will you get that done? And the kid looks at him, and it was a grade 3, I think. And she goes, okay, boomer. And you think, where did that come from? But so what I'm saying is it's not a dojo shaped like little, you know, with Chinese music in the background school type of thing. They are children. They are normal children. I just don't think they probably get the physical exercise that sometimes we have seen at our schools in South Africa, with a playground and a rugby field and maybe a swimming pool at the school, and you know, their schools are literally a building that they get locked into for the day, because once again, it's not that they get locked up in it. It's the fact that, you know what, they are very, very high targets in human trafficking or something to that effect, and they're very precious. So you've got to be very, very cautious and careful. I mean, the minute you let your guard down, it could be the day that you would absolutely regret it, and that would be catastrophic. But just getting back to the children run around, they scream, they laugh, they play with their friends, they're cocky, they're arrogant, they're obedient, they're good, they're eager to please, you know, everybody has their own personality, but they are noisy, and they are children, and they give you as much grief as what you would get at any other school as well. But somehow I think they just call into your heart, as they do with every other school as well. But it's not like we walk in very quietly and we bow and we put our books down and we start writing. You're very sorely mistaken if that's the playing field that you're looking at when you're wanting to come and teach here.
Yeah, no, it is chaos, like in any normal school. Getting everybody to sit down, keep quiet. So yeah, no, it is normal school, and it's enjoyable. I enjoy it. I love the kids. I miss them when they're not at school. So yeah, it's like unless you get fond of them, and I really take a piece of your heart when you do get to know them, when it's a new year and you start to learn to know the kids. So, but it is a rewarding, I think it's a rewarding job. Absolutely.
I think I said it a couple of programs ago. I said, you know what, your attitude's got to be right.
Yeah.
You've got to come here, A, with an attitude of acceptance, and B, of an attitude to actually make something of what you're going into. And it's not going to be, yes, obviously everybody works for a income or what to survive. And you obviously move for a better life as such. And moving to Cambodia is probably throwing the dice because it is not a first world country. You're not moving to the US or to the UK or to Australia or something like that. You're moving to a third world Asian country. And it definitely becomes what you make of it. And it depends what you see. But the thing is that you need to look at the school and say, this is my career. It's not a job in a pub or a job in a restaurant while I actually travel or tour the world. You are so responsible for those kids. And, it's almost, I don't want to say inhumane. It's not like you're torturing them or anything like that. But it is really unfair if you come in and do not actually plow your hole into them and give everything you got. And then the thing is, you've got to be grateful as well. A, you're a guest in this country, and B, you've got to start taking stock of gratitude. I find a lot of people who are very grateful and love it and are happy and are lovely people. And then they're also lovely people, but they just cannot find solace in anything. You know what? If it's yellow today, it should be yellow tomorrow, and I want it blue the next day. And if it's blue the next day, it shouldn't really have been blue. It should have been something else. Everything is a problem. And things don't always run smooth, but it is what you make of it. And sometimes you just got to count your blessings and actually move forward with them. Often you can't change what the situation that you're in from higher, so you've got to accept what you can't change. What's the Alcoholics Anonymous? Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah. Now, I don't think people, often have that wisdom because they want to change what they can't, they don't accept what they can, and all this type of stuff. So some people are really, really just grumpy whingers. And that makes it a little bit difficult when you're looking at expats and say, these are what the expats are, and they just complain. Then you find some beautiful people who just can't see negative and see positive. I'm not saying you've got to be over-bubbling, overflowing, but what I say is you've got to have a serious balance of saying, I am able to see good in life. You know what? If good needs to present itself to you, then I don't think Cambodia is the country that you want to be at. Or in, sorry.
Well, I think to be honest with you, I do agree with you in that term. But I think it's a quite a common thing all around the world. If we just look at Facebook, like what I started doing, for me it's working. Like everyone is part of these groups on Facebook. Say for instance, South Africans in Cambodia, or in Pretoria, there's a group, Muat in Pukua, but which is the area and selling the things in that area. And like there's so many different pages. And what I started doing, because obviously everywhere in the world there is going to be someone that sees everything negatively. And to me, like if you go onto Facebook or on a social media platform, that is not necessarily the thing you want to reach first. As people have a very big influence on everyday mood. So what I started doing is, if I am on Facebook and there was someone that sent a post saying, listen, I need help with that. And the first thing you realize or you see is the angry emotions on the bottom of that post. And then if you go into the comments, it goes boom, escalating like wildfire, people being so negative when someone else is asking for help, or people giving such rude or bad comments when someone just asked for an opinion or advice. So I literally, what I do is, if I'm on Facebook and this happens, to me, I don't want my Facebook to be a negative space. I'm using Facebook as an example. I don't really come across negative vibes on Instagram, but mostly on Facebook on the groups. I literally go into whoever the person is that commented the negative comment. I go into the profile and I block them from my Facebook, even though we are not friends. Because if you see a negative comment on your Facebook page, it automatically makes your mood feel negative. And I literally started like blocking people that I've never seen in my life, but I've seen them post more than one negative comment or give negative feedback or being negative about all things in life. And since I started doing that, yes, I do have 300 and something blocked people on my Facebook, which I don't know. We weren't even friends. But since I started doing that, if I go onto Facebook, it's a positive space. And it helps. It really helps. It brightens your mood because we are in Cambodia and our family and friends are all back in South Africa. And yes, it's sad, but Facebook is one of the methods that we use to keep in contact, seeing what they do, showing what we do, because it is not always, with the time difference, easy to keep on communicating over the cell phone and everything. It's not practical. So for me, it's nice to go on Facebook and seeing, oh wow, my friends had a braai this weekend, and this is who were there, and this is what they did, and so on. And for me, if I do that, I don't want to be overflown by negativity. And I think as this is a very positive channel as well, it is so nice to see. Listen, even if the comments are still on the posts, you can't see them anymore because, believe it or not, it is always the same people posting the negative comments. It's always the same people looking for a fight or looking to take someone out of their comfort zone or having a brawl with them on social media. And now my Facebook is positive. If there's negative comments, I block. It's just one of those things. I'm not sure if everyone agrees with me because I don't know the person, but you can say a lot from someone's reaction on the post as well. So I have to say, to add to your post about the people being negative, since I started doing that, I don't see it anymore. And I do have to tell you guys that it really, really works.
I think that's a great idea because what I think you're also doing is subconsciously you're blocking negativity in your life. And when you actually do that on Facebook as well, you're actually putting that subconscious into physical practice, which starts not only a habit of doing that in life, but actually now you're actually putting that in, which a lot of people won't do. Excuse me. For the sake of FOMO. You know what FOMO is?
But move on.
No. Fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. And that's why everyone wants to be everywhere on Facebook. That's why they check their Facebook 20 times a day. That's why they want to be subscribed to everything and don't want anything off. And even if it's negative, just in case I don't get to see it, it stays on my page. You know what? You probably find that most people, I saw a thing, what is it? Most people on Facebook aren't your friends. They're just there to see what you're doing or snoop on you or something like that. Which sadly is true. You'll find there's a lot of people that are your friends. They're not going to talk to you. They're not going to say anything, but they're just afraid of missing out on just seeing what you'll do. And you're also the one who's sitting there going, well, I wonder what Pitt is doing over there and this over here. And, I might miss out. I think if human nature, and I'm hopefully going to get to talk about this on a different show on Pepper's Echo, which I'd like to actually work on a bit of motivation, depression, and things to that effect. Do it on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know if I'm going to do it live or just pre-record yet. But it's so true what you're saying. And I think that your action is a fantastic idea, and I'm definitely going to use that if you don't mind. I'm not going to pay you. But I think that is fantastic because as you are supposed to take negativity out of your life, I think just blocking it on Facebook takes it that extra step further that you are actually physically putting into practice, which I think gives you a sense of fulfillment as well and a lot more joy. And I think if most of us can overcome fear of missing out, fear of being included, and just actually concentrating on the few around us that actually build us up and settle for a smaller quantity, which of high quality, than trying to work on a quantity of friends or people that you need to fit in with or no. You know, so what if you're only 6? So what if you're only 8? So what if you're only 5? Whatever. You know, do you need to be 15, 20? Do you need to be the one with everybody? Or is contentment? And I think a lot of people struggle with contentment.
That's why I don't like subscribing to these or follow these groups on Facebook because it's just too much. I mean, I hardly ever post something on Facebook. I'll share something on Facebook if I think it's necessary. But if I need some information that's going on in with the South Africans in Cambodia, Andre is my information source. So I don't need to subscribe to these things because it's like you said, it's negative. And people get so quickly negative when somebody says something. Everybody has something to say about that something somebody said, and it just escalates and escalates, and it gets nasty eventually. So it's a no for me. Thank you very much.
Sorry, it's 3 no's. You get to go. Sorry, you don't go to the finals.
I have to say, one of my friends is selling a product on Facebook, and I'm not going to say any names, but I did have quite a laugh. I did obviously block that person afterwards, but I did have
it for your friend.
I did have quite of a laugh. No, my friend posted on Facebook that he's selling this product, and it became this woman started commenting religious things regarding the product, which is it's a food product, and she started commenting all these religious things about it, and I'm sitting there and I'm a Christian and I'm reading this post going, well, according to her, I'm definitely not a Christian because what she's saying and what every normal person in life is eating is completely different. So to make it a little bit more easy to understand, he sells crocodile meat, and to most people it's normal. It's a source of meat, like whatever. And then this girl comments, no, Christians don't eat crocodile meat. They eat pig and goat and what was it? Pig and goat and beef, and I think she said chicken or something. I'm not sure exactly. And then I look at Niels and I go, well, I eat fish and shellfish as well. So what does that make me? We had quite a laugh about it, but it's just the sense of how much people want attention, like how easy it is for people on social media just to see the negative and go, oh, you are so disgusting. What's next? Bats and dogs. And I'm looking at the posts going, oh my word, people, calm down. Like, it's just an advertisement. If you don't want it, scroll past it. If you don't want it, remove the group from your phone or from your Facebook. But why be negative? Like, why?
Something that we could actually look at doing one of our shows a bit as well is probably different signs of different holidays. I know that there's been cast into there sometimes which holidays are actually, should I say, evil or not good holidays in that sense, or which are just pagan, or which are atheistic, which are Christian, where they actually come from. And I could mow the field with that because Christmas isn't Christian, Easter isn't Christian. It's as Christian as Halloween. Yeah, but I think it's a long discussion to go to because yes, before I actually just mow it down with one shot, It's there are different meanings and different celebrations over that period as such, but where it comes from is different. But then we also look at signs, and I was watching a YouTube channel last night, it was actually, and they wanted to know, is that satanic or evil, or is that just a hazard? And then that. So what's the difference? And actually, we ended up finding out that that is "I love you" in sign language. Yeah, that's "I love you." And I don't know. I just figured this is Ozzy Osbourne's sign from Deep Purple. But, but
it looks like those signs when you were little kids. You used to do in front of the mirror, yes, or in front of the light to make a little shadowed animal and scare your siblings with it. Like, here's a dog. Woof, woof, woof.
No, but yeah, I you know what, I think sometime we might look at that, because that's something that's nice to look at. And the reason I was talking about holidays and saying no, that they're not religious, doesn't mean that they're bad, but they become more circular is the thing. And we need to take a look at how circular holidays are, where they came from. And I mean, I take a look at what's the Day of the Bow in South Africa. That has been, I think, taken away as a public holiday. And everyone went, whoa, sacrilege! This is our religious holiday that is being removed. And this wasn't the EFF. This was like South Africa. And they were rather ticked about this. And so the guy said, look, you know what? Fine. What we'll do is you put in a day's leave at work. The guys at work are going to say it's fine. Churches will be open on the mornings and the evenings. You can flood the churches for the services and that type of stuff. Well, nobody took a day off. Nobody came to church, even if they were off. I think there's a few churches that have an evening service now, sometimes on the Day of the Bow, that are very poorly supported. And basically, people were having the holiday to have a barbecue and a good drink up and maybe a relax at home, but whatever reason you were having that holiday, you weren't putting very much religion into it. And I just wonder how many people put much religion into Christmas and much religion into Easter, and if there are any others. But I think I don't want to chat about that now, because we can actually start a long one about it, and we can take a look at it a little bit more. And it becomes quite an interesting conversation looking at that. Holidays, signs, yeah, we must decide whether that's for purpose or yeah, I don't want to go into negativity, as you were saying. This is very, very much more uplifting. Talking about uplifting, I want to share this little thing. Well, first of all, there's some little kitties. Let's see if I can get that right. There we go.
Aww.
It is an awe moment, isn't it? Let's get this little thing off there, please. I'm just taking the subscribe thing away, but that doesn't mean don't subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So these little kitties, this was posted yesterday in Cambodia. They're looking for a forever home. They are forever homes needed. 2 cuddly kittens. Dash and Hook, they are 3 months old and have a special brotherly attachment, I'm assuming. I'm not going to go through that. Then you can order your Christmas cookies. It's Christmas cookies. So, yes, guys, Cambodia does have Christmas. Yes, this is why I don't have to eat Cambodian. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Kevin at Super Meats in Phnom Penh. He sells boerewors, lekker meat sausage, nice meat sausage. There we go, you can see it. Boerie roll, that is a sausage on a roll. Ribs and chips, peri-peri chicken, and what we know as a bunny chow. And you know what, I was watching something, talking about a bunny chow now. I was watching, you know what, I trawled YouTube mainly looking for things on and Twitter, looking for things for Pepper Zeka, and sometimes I come across a little bit of an interesting thing. Bunny chow. Apparently, South Africa has one of the highest communities or Indian communities out of India. I don't want to say the highest. It did say the highest, but I'm going to get shot down by 5 million people if I do. But apparently they have, so I'm going to say one of the highest. And they came, was it 60s? I'm not too sure when, but they came as slaves to work in the sugar fields, the sugarcane fields in South Africa. And that's how they all came across. And one of the staple foods, now you don't find this, you do not find a bunny chow in India. You ask for a bunny chow in India, you know what, you're probably going to cook a rabbit for you or something like that. And the bunny chow, absolutely, which is this little item over here. I don't know if you can see you can't see my hand on there. But it's in the bottom right-hand side. It says bunny chow, $4. It actually is half a loaf of bread, which has been hollowed out. And usually it is mutton or chicken curry with vegetable and potato all put together and put inside it, and that little top is filled up with it. And this used to be one of their main staple meals. Is they didn't have plates or anything like that, so they would make this half loaf, fill it with curry, and put the little top on it, and that is why you eat a bunny chow. Not me, I use a knife and fork. I know you're not supposed to, but you eat it by hand, and your actual loaf of bread forms your plate as well. But now here's the interesting part. The merchants who used to sell these on the streets, because it was roadside and street food, when in South Africa, in the Indian community, were known as Bonai, B-O-N-A-I, I think it is Bonai. And it was known as Bonai food, Bonai chow, Bonai what you eat. And Bonai then assumedly translated over to Bunny. You know, it's probably the way the Indians speak. Bonai. No, it's a bunny chow. Yeah, whatever, you stupid white person. It's funny. But anyway, shout out to Kev at Super Meats. There's his little logo. He's in the, I don't know what his address is, but he's in Phnom Penh, not too far off, and he has a butchery there, sells his meat there, but on Saturdays, there's nothing better to go and lay your chops into some really good meat. Now, what I was talking about is this. This is pretty cool. This is like a little box.
We actually bought 5 of them yesterday.
Oh, these are the boxes. Well,
Yes, exactly that. Exactly that.
You bought 5 bunny chows yesterday? Are we
No,
invited?
no, Christmas boxes, cookie boxes.
From, do you know who's this Tanita Siberhafen?
Yes. So we, the students that I tutor is still on the younger level, and it's for Korean. So in the Korean culture, they don't really do cookie decorating and stuff like that. So as soon as I saw it on Facebook yesterday, I screenshotted it and I sent it to my Korean families. And both of the families actually ordered from me, and we went to pick it up yesterday. It is so nice. You get 2 cookies, so either a Christmas tree and a snowman, or a star and a Christmas tree, or something, and then you get a piece of wax paper, which is obviously on the table. Yes, the rolled up one to put on the table for the decorations, and then you get the 3 colors of icing sugar, and we actually have the exact same one as on the photo. So the little snowman on the packaging and everything, and the colors of the sprinkles as well. But it does differ from packet to packet, the color sprinkles and the type of cookies that they use. But this is the exact one that we received yesterday. So it's really nice. It comes in a nice little box, and then when you open it, it's got the stuff inside, and it's quite big. It's about 20 centimeters by about 20 by 10 centimeters box. And then she closes it with the plastic, with the hardcover plastic with the bow around it, and then she puts it in the little gift bag for each of them. Yeah, so we had 5, and she gives like 1 red, 1 cream color or green, so and gold as well. So it differs from packet as well. It's really, really nice. I do recommend everyone in Cambodia to please support them. You can get their information, as you can see, Omarina South African Desserts, or on Supermeat's Facebook page. They also post a lot. And she also makes milk tarts and some South African desserts that she sells as well. The same people that makes the Christmas cookies.
See there it says Amarita South African Desserts Bakery.
Yes.
And it's Tanita Siebenhagen.
Yes, her and Tanita as
That she
well.
post, yeah. So I think it falls under Amarita's. There we go. That's the page. Depending on what you want to see. And I see there's an email address. Omarita.
They
And
reply on Facebook
this-
Messenger quite easily as well.
This is not a paid commercial. It's just what I figured would be a nice thing is every week if we just take a look at what's on South Africans living in Cambodia, just to give that a little bit of a up as well. But I'm so chuffed you have got that. So
Yeah, now is it affordable?
Yes, if you buy one box, it's $5. And if you buy more than 13, for instance, for a school, you pay only $3. So you get a $2 discount per packet,
wow,
per
that's
box
a discount for
of
school.
the trade. Yeah, so you can even order for the school or for the class, and they give discount for the bigger orders as well.
Oh, that's nice.
That is absolutely super. Really nice to know.
That's really super.
And it says Amarita is the eldest of 4 generations currently in Cambodia. Rita, her daughter and granddaughter, started baking all the South African love favorites for the Saffers in Cambodia, which people fondly refer to us as Saffers, Saffas, just to make it clear. Made with recipes from generations back with lots of love. And I see that there is an email address there. Omaritas, OUMARITAS @gmail.com. And there's also a Cambodian telephone number, 096 220 1263. So I'm assuming for rusks and cookies and cakes and especially probably milk tart and things like that. And what's the other thing we like? Mulva pudding. I think Omarita.
Cook Sisters.
And Cook Sisters, yes.
I'm not sure if she makes that yet, but we must definitely send her a message saying she must definitely think about making Cook Sisters because she'll have a lot of support.
Well, I have one better. I think we should get Omarita on the show sometime. What do you think?
That can be quite nice as well.
And
Yeah.
they can get to talk about Omarita's, what she does, what they do there.
Try and get her on before Christmas so everybody knows about the.
Is someone looking for a printing company in Tulkor? Can someone suggest
London Printing.
Huh?
London Printing.
What printing?
London. VANNDIN.
Oh, is that a printing?
I'm gonna just stop there for a minute, just to show everyone in South Africa or all around the world how close the South Africans in Cambodia actually come together and communicate with each other. The first comment you'll see there, Shirley Ann Lowe. She is actually the friend that came to us last weekend, who is situated in Sihanoukville. So just to show everyone that there's a lot of support throughout all the South Africans, no matter where in Phnom Penh, they all come together on this page and help each other and talk to each other and so forth.
That's nice.
Also, there's a lot of information. This is the page that I've said, and hopefully maybe I can get Steve in as well. Steve can chat to us a bit and get some people watching here. What would be the best way to renew a SA passport from Cambodia? I think we'll discuss that because we're nearly up on an hour, and I think there's a lot of things to go through there. And but no, you don't get it done in Cambodia. You can get it done, I think, through Bangkok, but you need 6 or 7 months. And then there's also company that will actually do it for you. Team Visas, Pierre het ons gehelp. Nadat ons in Bangkok gaan aansoek doen het sonder hulle sal ons nooit gekry. There's this called Team Visas and Travel Authentication, apostille of documents, police clearances, expediting of passports, assisting with newborn registrations, license entitlement for overseas license and single status. What's it? Team Visas, travel, whatever. They would do it. Nika Millen also recommended Pierre, so I'm assuming this is Pierre. I don't want to go through that. That's quite a nasty one. And then, of course, I think Kevin's come on from Super Meats.
Yes. He has a computer shop as well.
Okay. So 1.8 meter Christmas tree for $65. That's including lights and delivery to you, and ornaments, decorations as well. Decorations and lights. Looks like that. So yes, even though Christmas has absolutely no meaning in Cambodia, it still has a celebration that goes through with Christmas trees. And if it's anything like I think Ricky bought last year, it is a jolly decent Christmas tree to come in. So yeah, it takes, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. Yeah, ABA payments can be made at Super Meat. So yeah, it's Kevin's stuff. Christmas tree. Okay, right. I'm not going to go any bit further down. There is a place as well, Expro Solutions, that do police clearances. Let me see what they do. Police clearance certificates, embassy verifications, DIRCA apostilling and notarization, unabridged marriage certificates, matric certificate verifications, confirmation of driver's license letter, SACWA letters. They're not issuing quotes for unabridged due to a backlog, Department of Home Affairs. Okay, so they will do it. I just want to also remind people that when you do use these companies to assist you, they do cost dearly as well. They are not of a cheap nature, if I can put it that way. It does get the job done, and it is better if you actually find out from somebody who has used one before, so that you're not using a plan to scam you. But it can be done. So Niels, I don't know. Myself, I still can't get my driver's license renewed. Yeah, you've got to, bless you, got to end again. There we go. The keyboard's full of water. Right, and so no, that you still got to go back for. But I see most of the other things, authentications and stuff like that, you are able to get a company to do, but it does cost you dearly in the process as well. Otherwise, that's about it from my side. Anything? I love those boxes. When are you going to use them, by the way? Are you actually going to use them in your classes?
No, I gave half of it already because it can be stored as well. So if you do want to buy and order it now, you can actually put the icing sugar in the refrigerator or the freezer and defrost it when you want to use it on Christmas. And the cookies can just be sealed in a container, as it doesn't contain fresh milk. So it takes a while before it'll get any harm done to it as well. So they bought it to save it for Christmas, obviously.
Okay.
That's nice.
No, I thought maybe you were going to be using it in a lesson or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's very, very nice, and it's nice to actually know that someone has tried it out as such.
Yes, that's a super idea. I like that idea. That's something nice to buy for your fellow teachers if you want to do give them something for Christmas. Or going on a 2-week break, like our school go for a 2-week break. So that's something nice to give to some of your friends at school before you go for Christmas. So that's something to keep in mind.
What did you get from your colleague at school? I got this freaking little cookie decoration set.
Decorate my own cookies.
We'll not give it to the dry ones. We'll give it to the ones that will enjoy. We should know who those ones are.
The dry ones just get a Krispy Kreme donut.
You know what? We'll give it to ones that spend their days watching Christmas movies all year through.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know.
Me.
But in any case, guys, it was nice seeing
It
you.
has been a super, super time. Once again, that corner there, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Is it over there? Yeah. There we go. Now I can do this. Like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Share this video if you liked it. If you don't, share it anyway. No, I'm kidding. But if you have got some feedback for us, negative or positive, we're quite open to take it all. And if you have some suggestions or something that you'd like to hear or see on the show, or if we'd like to try and get hold of something or do something and find out, hopefully we will have some extraordinary stories to tell when we get back from holiday as well on in December. Thank you very much. I lost it for a second. In December, we should have a couple of photos and things like that. And yes, maybe we will go and take a look at What Nom, I think, next week. Have you guys been to What Nom yet?
No, we have.
I think next week we will talk about What Nom, because I think that is Lady Nom or something like that. Lady Nom, who found the Nom, and now it's called Phnom Penh. But let's get the details and the photos, and there's a lovely big clock over
It's
there.
Lady Nom that went to the mountain, because what
No,
is the
it's
mountain?
Lady
Lady
Pen
Pen.
who went to. And yeah, it isn't, the Nom isn't really a mountain. It is a 27-meter high, self-built little, I think we call it a copy where we come from.
Yeah, but we will get the correct information for everybody and share it next week.
And the pictures and everything. And I think that's a nice little excursion. So what pen, what nom, who's nom pen? I have a pen, I have a nom, I have a nom pen. Okay, we can deal with that next time as well. But please mail us on the email down below if there's anything that you would like to see, would like us to do. Subject doesn't need to be Cambodian. It is not just Cambodian. It is just a bit of a fun site, Modley Mix. We just happen to be in Cambodia. That's why it ends up playing this way. But thank you very much for your support. As I said, like and share and subscribe. But yeah, from our side, take care.
Bye.
From your
Bye.
side,
Keep the video.
Bye, guys.
be good. Take care. And if you can't be good, be kind.
Bye.